Hi everyone, I'm Clay Delancey. I'm a research coordinator here at the Warnell School of Forestry and Natural Resources. And today I'm going to talk to you about collecting some samples for our grouse research up in the Georgia mountains. Previous research shows that ruffed grouse are restricted to higher elevation mountains of North Georgia. To support the population growth of ruffed grouse, we want to learn how these birds are moving throughout the landscape. To do so, we're going to use genetics as a tool to understand connectivity of grouse in order to grow a healthy grouse community. We can collect genetic material from most parts of the birds. However, the best samples of DNA come from the feathers, the blood, and the tissues. Today we'll walk you through the process of collecting these samples based on a protocol guide that we put together and will include within kits that we can send to you to help collect these samples. The first thing we want to do is we want to collect some feather samples. And so for this demonstration we're going to use bob white that we have collected, basically because we have no grouse in our collection to show you on. For this here, for collecting feathers, we want to take a few light feathers, so a few wing feathers here, and we want to pull them out and be sure not to touch the tip of the feathers. So we want to make sure we don't touch the tip of the feathers because that's where the best DNA is stored. And it's primarily the tissues that connect to the feathers that have the DNA. And so be careful not to touch those tips of the feathers. And then we're going to snip off the ends of the feathers since we don't need those. And then we're going to stick these feathers into our vial of ethanol. And that'll keep them stored safely until we can collect the DNA from them. However, we still want to have a few other feathers too. We want to collect some of these smaller body feathers. So just pull some of those out, get some of that genetic material in there still. And we don't need to snip these off because they're so short. Just kind of stick them in the vials, again without touching those feather tips. That way we don't collect any of your DNA on the feathers. And once they're all in there, we want to make sure we tighten this vial. That way nothing can leak out of there, and that'll be good to go. For blood collection, we just need a little bit of blood from the birds. So in this case, you can either cut the head off the bird to let the blood drain out of its neck, or you can find a vein under its wing, or any other method really that helps you get a little bit of blood out of this bird. And we want to just let it drip gently or slowly onto our blood card here. It's just a cotton piece of paper with a circle on it. And we want to have enough blood that fills up this circle. We don't want to oversaturate this card, but we just need a little bit of blood to go on this card. And there's instructions on the front of this card too that tell you how to fill it up. And then you'll need to let this card dry before you close it up and package it into a Ziploc bag for us. We also want a muscle sample from the grouse. And so this muscle sample can be taken from the breast, the wing, or the leg. It's up to you, but we don't need a very big sample. We just need a small sample about the size of a penny or a dime. And so be sure to clean off your knife with either alcohol or some good soap and hot water, just to make sure that there's nothing else on your knife when you're cutting this meat up, which hopefully you're doing already as you're processing the bird. And then try not to touch the muscle material too much during this process. So kind of use your tweezers and hold the meat down, and then cut a little bit, just enough to make it more of a dime size or penny size piece of meat. And so that's all we really need from the bird. And then once you get that taken care of, you can push it into the vial using the tweezers. To prevent the meat from spoiling in the vial, use the tweezers to push the meat down into the vial further. If necessary, use another vial with ethanol to top off the vial that has the meat sample in it. In addition to feather samples, tissue samples, and blood samples, we're also interested in collecting fecal samples from these birds. So if you're out hiking around or you flush a grouse at a drumming log site, most drumming logs will have piles of fecal material. And if that's the case, you can also use some tweezers or just scoop some up in the vials to collect some fecal material for us. If you find a road-killed grouse, we can also collect the same samples using the same methods that we previously described. Or if you want, you can just chuck it into a grocery bag and store it in the freezer. Once we collect all these samples, we want to store them in Ziploc bags to prevent them from leaking and also to label them properly so that we can later identify these individual samples. So to start with, we're going to label Ziploc bags with the date. So today is November 7th, so 11/7/2022. And then we want our name and phone number. So my name and my phone number, 706-542-2686. Lastly, for labeling the bags, we want location data for where the bird was collected. So to do this, we're going to open our map app on our phone, and we can create a pin at the location where the grouse was found or harvested. So from here, you can collect the GPS data, which you can see here on the top of my phone. I'm gonna copy this over. For video purposes, this is Brasstown Bald's location, which is an area that's off limits to hunting. So there's grouse there, but unfortunately we can't collect samples from harvested birds there. When we're collecting this location data, we want to make sure we have exact locations or very precise locations for where the bird was collected. If you're unwilling to provide the exact location, please provide a location within a 1 mile area of where the bird was collected or harvested. This can be a road intersection or some other landmark as well. To protect your favorite hunting spots as well, we will not be sharing any of this data with the DNR or with other people who may be hunting grouse. So your favorite hunting locations will remain protected. Once the bag is properly labeled, we just need to stick our vials into the bag. All 3 of these vials can go in here since they're from the same bird. But if you have multiple birds, please use multiple Ziploc bags so we can keep them separate. Try to air out of these bags a little bit. Once you collect these samples for us, please let us know and we will either come get the samples from you or provide a mailing address to ship them back to us. If you don't feel comfortable collecting these samples as we described, additionally you could also throw in the scraps of the bird after you're done processing the bird. Just throw them into a large Ziploc bag or a freezer bag and store them in the freezer, and then just let us know and we'll come and collect those from you. To request collection kits or to ask questions about our research, feel free to reach out to me. My email is on the screen right now. And we want to thank you for your contribution to growing the Georgia grouse population.